Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe. Well, recently, Erika Kirk and Megyn Kelly have made comments regarding whether or not they believe that Tyler Robinson is the killer. Now, if you go over the probable cause document, it all makes complete sense in order. However, there's a huge portion of the population, because they don't believe in the ballistics, have to then conjure up conspiracy theories to explain every single one of the facts listed in the probable cause documents. But let's take a listen to what Erika Kirk had to say.
Charlie was answering a question about trans violence when he was murdered. Do you think that was a coincidence?
I don't believe in coincidences.
Do you think they've caught your husband's killer?
So
right there, when she was asked about that, I mean, that is interesting. That's always been an interesting element, that it turns out that the shooter was dating a transgender person. They are gay themselves, but they were dating Twiggs, or Lance Twiggs. And Lance Twiggs is transgender. So during the event at, Turning Point USA event at UVU, the questioner was talking about how many mass shooters have been transgender, etc. And then that's when Tyler Robinson shot. So we've always wondered, was that a timed thing? What I've always said is, we don't know if there's somebody that was communicating with him, etc., either on Discord or via, on a cell phone. And maybe they were aware of what they were talking about, or maybe Tyler Robinson merely heard what was being asked. But Tyler Robinson is the shooter.
something I'm so grateful for is that we have one of the most incredible teams for this case.
Now, so right there, Waters asked her, do you think they caught the right guy? And you got to just picture it like this. Erika Kirk is friends with the President of the United States. She's friends with the Vice President. And Kash Patel was a friend of Charlie Kirk. I think Erika Kirk has about as much information as you could possibly get in this case. I think she knows all of the facts. And because of that, she's not able to say it out loud, and she doesn't want to jeopardize the case. That's why she doesn't answer yes or no to this question.
I would never wish it upon anybody to have to go through what we are going through. To have seen the autopsy report, to have seen the different evidence portions that have been collected.
See, she's seen the autopsy report. The public has not seen that. She's seen other investigative information. You can tell she knows exactly what's going on.
I trust our team.
And she says she trusts her team. And that means the investigators at the FBI, law enforcement in the local area, and they're all working together. And Turning Point USA, other than just being able to talk about what Charlie Kirk talked about, and perhaps even some camera footage that they might have, probably wouldn't be in part of the investigation. It would be the local, I think, Utah County Police Department, and then the Sheriff's Department as well. So I think they're in really good hands there. And Erika Kirk didn't answer it directly because she can't. I think she's part of the gag order. Just like in the Delphi murder case, all the family members were under the gag order, etc. They couldn't talk about the case in public. All right, so let's continue on. This is Megyn Kelly coming up.
For example, I've been asked, and some of my audience is mad at me for this, but what do you think happened to Charlie Kirk? And I believe a man named Tyler Robinson shot and killed Charlie Kirk. I believe he was influenced by trans Tifa, radical trans activists.
And that's what we've been saying on my channel, that perhaps the Discord group, there's individuals in there that were, stoking up Tyler Robinson, or just communicating with him and knew how he felt, even though there isn't really any direct written information about that, like in terms of exactly what he said, not liking Charlie Kirk regarding his beliefs in transgender. All right, but he is dating a transgender person, and there's a video out there by Turkey Tom, who is a pretty large channel, I think over 1 million subscribers. They were given information from a person who was friends with Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs, and they showed how kind of, disturbed Lance Twiggs was. And it's just sort of interesting because when you hear Megyn Kelly coming up here, it seems like she's referencing something she knows.
That he fell in with a lunatic that goes by Lance Twiggs, that guy was extremely radical.
So what this is showing is that Megyn Kelly also has inside information. And guess what? She's friends with the president. She spoke for him many different times. She's friends with Turning Point USA. And she's obviously got connections because of the president. She can maybe get some information from Kash Patel. She talks about how she's spoken with the FBI. And she knows information, and she can't share it because she doesn't want to interfere with the investigation. But it's interesting how she refers to Twiggs as being, perhaps sort of a mastermind. Perhaps he riled Tyler Robinson up to commit the murder of Charlie Kirk.
And that he and possibly a band of others convinced this guy that violence was the answer. And I believe others knew about it before Charlie was killed. That's what I believe. And until you can show me cold, hard proof that it was something other than that, that's what I'm going with. And I don't want to do or say anything that will jeopardize the FBI investigation and prosecution of that guy to make sure he spends the rest of his life either behind bars or on the wrong end of a firing squad.
I mean, that makes total sense that she knows more than she can say, and she doesn't want to interfere with the investigation. If it was just any one of us, we would just have an opinion, and we're not interfering with the investigation because it's just an opinion that you have about something. Now, if you're putting out conspiracy theories and whatnot, you are interfering with the investigation because you're putting out false information and you're tainting the population from being able to see the actual truth in this case. But it does seem like she has inside information regarding the investigation into the Discord server, and that Lance Twiggs maybe was more radical, and then he and some other people on the Discord server were sort of coaxing or, because of what they said, convinced Tyler Robinson to do what he did. And she said she believes that there's people out there that knew what he was going to do. Now, was she told that, or is that just an opinion she has? But the fact at the end where she says that she doesn't want to interfere with the investigation almost feels like she knows something that the rest of us don't know, and she's just alluding to it but can't really say because she doesn't want to interfere with the investigation.
So I don't listen to Candace's show, but I am 100% convinced that Charlie was killed by Tyler Robinson, a crazed leftist who murdered him because he didn't like Charlie's messaging on the trans issue.
And the weird part is because she says that, she gets a lot of hate out there, but it's the truth. What she's telling you is the absolute truth. And I didn't realize she didn't really ever watch Candace Owens' show, but apparently she doesn't. But the thing is because she's saying what she's saying now, she's going to be accused of being pro-Israel. She's going to be accused of being, by the way, what's wrong with being pro-Israel? But she's going to be accused of being pro-Israel. She's going to be, said that she's working for the feds. She's getting paid this and that. And it's so ludicrous. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the same thing on my channel. People type in, "Oh, you work for the feds." And what's weird is I'm in a unique position to know these people are crazy because I'm me and I don't work for the feds and we don't make any money from anybody. When I say we, I'm talking about any of the people out there who talk about the facts of the case, which absolutely overwhelmingly point to Tyler Robinson being the killer.
That is my firm belief after having talked to the people at Turning Point, the FBI, the security team that was on the ground, and many others.
Right, so she talked to the security team on the ground. They would be able to say, was he wearing a bulletproof vest? Where did the bullet enter his neck at? Was there an exit wound? She's able to talk to the FBI because of his connections to President Donald Trump. And she's able to speak with people at Turning Point because she's friends with them. She does speeches and and makes guest appearances for them sometimes. All right?
And I've come to that with a good faith basis, and I have nothing that would shake me from it. I don't begrudge anybody asking questions, and I understand the controversy around where she's gone with it.
See, that's sort of like her just not wanting to lose the fans. Like, oh, I understand you're questioning everything. I think it's been questioned enough, and everything by the conspiracy theorists have been disproven. And now we even got people talking about Google Trends, something that's never used for anything like this at all. You can search for one thing one day, and it'll show you a spike. The next day, it's not there. It doesn't mean a damn thing. All right, but it's a whole industry now. Ooh, man, ooh, look at that, Google Trends. Let's make a 4-hour video on Google Trends. It's so amazing. It's crazy. So let's continue listening.
But I think it's really kind of a matter of your preference for your broadcaster. And, you know, Candace is many, many people's cup of tea, and she's not other people's, and I'm the same. And I haven't responded well to people demanding that I try to police her speech, because that's a leftist thing. It's not a right thing. So if she's not for you, that's fine, but if she is, that's fine too. And what she says about this particular matter, look, I just give her a lot of grace because I know she's suffering.
Yeah, I mean, that part makes sense. It's just that I think what Candace Owens is doing is actually dangerous, to be honest with you. For the Jewish population of the United States, what Candace Owens is saying and doing, she isn't just implying Israel's policies, she's sort of implying there's a problem with Jewish people. And I think that's where she kind of crosses the line. And the thing is Israel has absolutely nothing to do with the death of Charlie Kirk. It's Tyler Robinson who hated Charlie Kirk because of his views on trans, because he was dating somebody who's transgender. It's a really obvious case. All right. Thank you all very much for watching. If you leave a comment in the comment section, that would be great. I appreciate you, and maybe share the video if you have the ability to. Thank you for watching, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.